Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with game number 2 between HuK and Stephano. This time we are on the map Daybreak. Spawning in the lower left-hand spawn position is our blue Zerg player, Stephano. Stephano won last game with a very strong 3-base push against HuK. Was able to split up HuK's forces, and unfortunately for him, lost kind of the muscle behind his army, which was the Colossus, quite quickly. And yeah, that was a very, very strong and effective push there by Stephano. Incredibly impressive. That's enough of that, though. Here we are again on game number 2. We do have HuK spawning over here in the upper right-hand position. Don't know if I already said it, but we are on the map Daybreak. And it looks like HuK will be going with a Forge Fast Expand yet again. At this time, actually going for the wall off here over in this position, rather than pulling the pylon back here and trying to wall off from the corner towards his nexus. So a little bit of a wider area that he has to protect here, but certainly doable. It's actually, never mind, it's really not the largest map, but early game pressure, because of the fact that you do have to work around here, takes a little bit longer to get towards that natural expansion. Stephano also opens up with good luck, have fun, Chris, to Mr. HuK, which is nice, very nice. First name basis here between these two. Scouting probe for HuK, moving into the main here of Stephano. Stephano should be placing down at that spawning pool momentarily here. He works his way up to those 200 minerals at 15 supply, and is this going to be the one? No, never mind. Spawning pool again actually placed up here. Now, last game we saw HuK attempt to harass at that natural expansion, actually botched it a little bit and allowed Stephano to get down that hatchery much earlier than he really should have. HuK with a probe at this natural expansion should delay the placement of that for quite a while. See if this happens again here. HuK now moving down, going to be dancing around here with the drone, and the drone set to engage. Actually gonna go, oh, there you go. So there's one delay. Now the question is, does HuK want to bother spending the 100 minerals necessary to try to place down a pylon? No. And there it is. The hatch gets placed down. HuK letting it go through. It's a delicate dance though, because of course you do need to protect your probe, and if you try to circle around in too tight of a circle, then you will take damage from the drone, and eventually you will lose the probe. That's why you will see a lot of Protoss players just place down that pylon and either let it go through or cancel it, take the small resource hit to further delay the placement of that hatch. But again, as you saw, HuK deciding not to do that. Now back over here at his natural expansion, let's take a look. Forge is now in here. Does have that gateway coming through, and again, a little bit of a wider angle here for him to defend, but he should be all set. A pylon coming up in this direction. We do have that cannon coming through. Zerglings will not be there in time before that cannon finishes. So HuK is all set here, and that nexus is also just about finished. We'll be seeing some of those probes transfer on down there in a moment. And here we go, HuK. Gonna do some harass here. Now look at this. Stephano can't see it. He can't see it. There it is. Scouting Zergling spots the pylon placement. These Zerglings over here get denied because of that photon cannon. And HuK actually just cancels off this pylon, deciding not to go through with that cannon harass. That was close, though. Had Stephano not scouted out with that Zergling, we probably would have seen about 1 or 2 cannons there. We are seeing actually a quick third here from Stephano again. Now, that was scouted out by HuK. Yes, it was. So HuK is aware that that third is coming through. With that, yet again, we will be seeing a delay here in the Vespine geysers. The extractors here for Stephano. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a moment. Zergling chasing down the probe here, forcing HuK back to his natural expansion. A couple Zerglings actually made it up there and were able to harass a little bit. Not too much damage was done though. As you can see, Stephano did kill off one worker, but that's it. So wasn't able to do too much damage, but did force himself by. In doing so, that cannon was up, so he lost a few Zerglings. Taking a look here. You can see Stephano losing 6 units so far, 150 resources. HuK has also lost some resources, not quite as much though. Scouting Zealot now pushing towards that third. We'll be able to actually do a little bit of damage to that as well. Bringing up the production tab here, we can see that Warp Gate research coming through here for HuK. Would like to probably see the level 1 weapon upgrade. There it is, coming through right now. Zealot now moving forward to engage. He's gonna have to deal with that Queen, and that alone is enough to force him back. That Queen upgrade makes him so much more effective now, shooting from range consistently. So much more effective. Extractor's now up here for Stephano. Again, that was nice and saturated. Working his way up, getting that Vespine count going. Roachwarren getting placed down here as well. Pretty much the same style opening this game from Stephano. HuK going a little bit differently this time around though. Last time we saw a quick robo. This time, gateway heavy. 6 warp gates coming through there. It's going to put him at 7 gates plus the level 1 weapon upgrade. Probably going to see a push here towards the 3rd from HuK. And wow, Stephano could not have been in a better spot to scout that, huh? He is fully aware of that pylon there. He's also fully aware this probe is continuing to try to move forward. And there's another pylon now. Stephano knows about both of those, so he's all set. He's going to force the cancel of that there, and then just move towards this one. Now, warp gate research is just now finishing, as well as these gateways. Now, let's see if HuK is able to get this stuff up and running before it's too late. Cancels that. Gonna see some warp in over here. Warp gate research is finished. Let's hope we see HuK coming with some stuff there. Level 1 weapon upgrade almost finished. Zergland's going straight for this pylon. Gonna start working that down. This alone should force HuK to warp in some guys. There it is, 3 zealots. Here come the Zerglings, big, massive Zerglings, and some roaches. Moving out right now for Stephano. And I think this is going to thwart HuK's efforts of pushing forward here early on. There are the roaches. Goodbye, pylon. Yeah, that's amazing. Stephano, again, scouting out this pylon here, also chasing down that probe to take out this pylon. Amassed an army to deal with what HuK was planning to push out with, and now HuK is going to have to change plans here and try to come up with this expansion. He's going to be forced to cancel his Nexus, though. Not getting there quick enough. Cancels it, gets 300 back. Really unfortunate turn of events there for HuK. He's about to get sandwiched now, too. Here come the Speedlings and the Roaches. And we're going to see HuK lose a bit here. Getting some reinforcement sentries, though, and a couple more Zealots will allow him to deal with the rest of these roaches, but still. Really nice responsiveness there by Stephano in not only stopping HuK's planned advancement, but also delaying the placement here of this expansion. Stephano going straight for those high priority targets in these sentries here. Try to take out that last one. Nope, forced all the way back now. So he's going to be getting chased right now by those Zealots, loses the 1 roach. And then HuK pulls back with the rest of what he has. So Stephano making it home with 1 roach. Still pretty impressive there by Stephano. Now, let's take a quick look here at the resources lost. Want to see where everyone's sitting at right now. HuK is behind 1,700 as opposed to 1,100 resources lost there. Roach speed coming through. Melee attack level 1 for Stephano. Also getting research. Another evolution chamber coming out. Infestation pit. The layer is finished, as you can see there. Macro hatch also being built and taking a 4th base now. Stephano doing all sorts of things. We have 2 more gateways coming through for HuK. HuK also with this robo in play. He does have 1 observer out, and that's going to be moving towards the center of the map right now. Also now moving into a war prism, so HuK deciding he needs to harass somehow. Another hatch getting placed down, which will put Stephano on 5 bases. Hopefully Stephano keeps up with this creep spread, though, because he is going to need some good scouting, as we will be seeing HuK attempt some harass there once that war prism does complete. Small little roach army moving now towards that natural expansion. Just will be scouting out. Is forced back. Not absolutely certain if he scouted that war prism or not. War prism is moving out now. And what's going to happen here is we'll see him warp in some units, pick them up, and then drop. And it looks like he's planning right now to go right there towards the back of the main base. Roach is now dancing around. That speed upgrade is finished, making him a little bit more maneuverable. He's actually going straight for the worker count here. He's killed off 6 workers so far this game. 7, 8. Trying to make it 9. There it is, gets 9. 10 workers killed, wow. Stephano with 10 workers killed. A couple Speedlings also threatening the front there. That gets pushed back. Here it is, warping in to the main. Bunch of Zealots. Now we do have some Infestors here to help deal with this. Fungal growth goes down. Speedlings come to join the fun. HuK continuing to push. He's going straight towards that center base here of Stephano. This is going to get mopped up. Now War Prism just going to continue to move though, and Stephano loses the expansion in the center of the map. As HuK forcing Stephano to split up his forces there, was able to take out that expansion. More warp in coming through. Queen picks off the War Prism, stops any more from coming out. And the Roaches and the Queens also now engaging these Zealots. Stephano gonna force back with that Queen there. HuK continuing to pressure there towards the center of the map. Observer Scout trying to keep tabs on Stephano's forces. Now, as we saw, that War Prism was taken out. as well as everything that was warped in. Nice little engagement there for HuK. Helping to try to even things up a little bit more. You can see he's not as far behind as he was before, 3,400 as opposed to 4,100 resources lost. So there's only a difference there of 700, give or take. Was, of course, also able to take out that expansion in the center of the map. Now, we're going to see Stephano probably just try to keep HuK on 3 bases. Don't really expect him to push and take out this third, but if he can keep him on 3 bases for a while, it's going to help him a lot, especially once he gets that back up and running. We've got this base up, a couple spines to try to defend against small little zealot pushes or something like that. Spine crawlers will certainly help with that. Stephano now controlling the center of the map again. This is really what he needs to do. Sending in some sacrificial units for scouting purposes, just trying to spot where the army is, how much, how many, where are they. He doesn't have the benefit of the observer scout that we see HuK sitting here with. Transition coming through into some Colossus play here for HuK. He's got the robotics bay in play, coming out with that thermal lance upgrade. So we'll be seeing that switch there into Colossus. Hive Tech now also coming out here for Stephano. Stephano working up those 2-2 upgrades now. Focusing on upgrading those melee units, the speedlings. Greater Spire now coming out that Hive finishes. So we'll be seeing some Broodlord action here from Stephano. Stephano with the scouting Zerglings in this position and also controlling that tower is going to see the second that HuK plans to take an expansion. That's going to get forced back right now as the Stalkers push forward. First Colossus coming out, also getting some getting a Templar Archives in play. With that, we'll be seeing some Psionic Storm research most likely, maybe throwing in a couple Archons. I'm probably going to expect just the focus on the High Templar and Sidestorm though. Blink research also coming through. Level 2 weapon upgrades. Now that the Hive is in play, we're going to see those Adrenal Glands. That is the attack speed upgrade for those Zerglings. Effectively turning them from Speedlings to Cracklings, as they were so affectionately known as in the original StarCraft. Just about finished here with that Greater Spire, and also getting preemptively a few Corruptors out to prepare to get those Broodlords almost immediately. HuK feeling confident now to move out. That he does have his Colossus in play and try to take this fourth at the center of the map. Now finishing his weapons level 2 upgrade. Might just go straight into weapons level 3. Here come the Broodlords finally. Now, with the Broodlords, HuK needs to utilize those Blink Stalkers there, and we are actually seeing some Archon play here. Yeah, just exclusively Archons, not even bothering trying to come out with that Psionic Storm. Also sitting with some High Templar could be quite effective for feedback against these Infestors here. Now, we do have those Broodlords in play. He's got 5 right now, I believe. So with all of these Infestors, Fungal Growth is going to need to go down on the Stalkers to try to prevent them from blinking forward and taking out. Oh, Warped In Zealot just manages to block that off, stopping those Zerglings from being pretty devastating. Also, Zerglings trying to move down here, but they're going to get taken out quickly. HuK working up to that Death Ball army here. Look at all those Archons. Also Zealots, Stalkers, and a couple of Colossus. Stephano continuing to work up those Broodlord numbers here. And here we go, HuK making a push. Now moving towards this base, should be forcing a cancel here. Stephano lets it finish as he's going to try to get there in time to save it. We got Archons moving up. He's not going to save it. That gets taken out. Blink Stalkers moving forward. Broodlords finally coming into play. Fungal going down on a large portion of that army. These Broodlords going to do a lot of damage now. Zealot line plus those Archons though forcing back these Infestors. Broodlords continuing to wreak havoc here. There's just so many, and HuK wasn't able to get up under them with the Blink Stalkers yet. He's got an opportunity now. Here it is, Blink Stalkers right underneath those Broodlords. And take these out one at a time. Switching up now, Roach Heavy plus Speedlings, a few Corruptors coming out to deal with the 2 Colossus still in play. And HuK now pushing towards the center of the map. Roach is going to try to stifle this as much as possible, delay it, buy himself some time to get those Speedlings out. Continue to push forward, takes out 1 Colossus. Mopping up those Stalkers, takes out the 2nd Colossus. At the same time, expanding down here. Talk about macro, man. Huge engagement going on. He's like, yeah, I also need an expansion, so let's get that right now, shall we? Cracklings continue to push forward. Just massive damage when they get that attack speed upgrade. Stalker trying to blink themselves into a tight position here. It's going to cut back on all of that damage, but there's a fungal growth there from those infestors. Lots of damage with that. Roach is now also moving forward, and now HuK is in danger of losing his center expansion. And again, the macro here from Stephano is unbelievable. With all this happening, he's getting upgrades out the wazoo and getting this expansion. More reinforcements coming out here for Stephano, forcing HuK back. He doesn't have the army to deal with this. He's about to lose his center expansion. Say goodbye, HuK, to your expansion. Mopped up. Splits up his roaches now. Speedling's now chasing these stalkers down here. Those roaches force those stalkers back. And, you know, we talked about this earlier. If Stephano can try to keep HuK on 3 bases, well, look at that. 10 minutes later, he's still doing it. It's been a little back and forth between then and now, but still, Stephano has kept HuK effectively now on 3 bases. He's got pretty much only 2 mining. A little bit of mining going on over here, but not quite that much left. Take a look at the income tab. Stephano sitting strong with that Vespene. They're about even with minerals, although Stephano should be pulling ahead once he does saturate these 2 bases here. Here it comes, big push of Broodlords. Now we saw HuK attempting to push out towards this expansion, but now he's like, all right, well I need to think about this priorities wise. Should sit back and defend. Beautiful position here for these Broodlords. It's going to be very hard for the Stalkers to deal with that. Trying to blink forward. Only a few of them actually under those Broodlords. The rest of them get taken out by those roaches. Broodlord's finally able to turn around. We got a Stalker moving to the backside. Not enough though to threaten those Broodlord numbers. They're just going to continue to shell out from the high ground over here. Forced to pull back a bit. Still, the Stalker's not really within range. Not as close as they need to be. That huge buffer of roaches and a few speedlings. We got vision of the high ground here by HuK with that observer, which is definitely helping him quite a bit here. He's keeping constant tabs on this army, but HuK's in a really, really tough position right now as Stephano continues to push. Now Stephano's really going to be pulling up that economic advantage at this point. Do take a look at the resources lost. They're about even. Blink Stalkers moving forward. Broodlords again a little bit out of position there. Forcing them back. More upgrades coming out here for Stephano. Taking a look quickly at HuK vision. He's got no counter aggression, no drops, no small zealot pushes towards these expansions. Nothing like that. Even a couple of zealots over there can be so effective, but it's not happening right now. HuK is just too focused on defending here against this continuous, relentless assault from Stephano. More and more Broodlords coming out as well. He's just sticking to it, man. He says, yeah, Broodlords, I like them. We're going to keep making them. Spines for some defense. Stephano concerned about what I just mentioned. Small little zealot engagements. Taking another look at the income tab, and this is where it's really going to start to struggle here for HuK. Take a look at that big discrepancy in the minerals that are being gathered right now. About 2,000 minerals as opposed to the 1,200 of HuK. And the Vespene, about 1,200 as opposed to 600 or 700. So looking really bad, and now Stephano going to try to split the forces there, still with this beautiful positioning here, really making it difficult for those Stalkers to get right up under them. And there's the GG. Stephano takes the series 2-0. He's able to keep HuK on 3 bases here in Game 2. Alright, my friends, that does it in this series here between HuK and Stephano. Again, Stephano has taken the series 2-0. Great games here between these two players. Stephano being very, very strong in this aggressive Zerg play. Quite fun to watch here as well. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. And don't forget, guys, keep watching and keep owning.